Some claim that the age of a true gentleman is far behind us, but here at 284 Media, we definitely disagree. He may appear in different guises, but the values and ideals that make him a gent still stand. Gentlemen, aspiring gentlemen, and of course, our partners that hold us down. I'm Ron Grant. Welcome to a brand new season of The Art of a Distinguished Gentleman, a show poised to help guide modern-day men into 21st century distinguished gentlemen. Please don't worry, it's not always about suits, bow ties, but raw, real-life lessons that translate to grounded, community-minded, well-rounded men. Thank you for taking this journey with me. It's been said over and over, it takes a village to raise a child. But what does it take to raise an adult? Respectable, strong, educated men. Well, that same village, hailing all the way from Caribbean, what I consider the capital of the Virgin Islands. Don't debate me, it is. He comes from a village that speaks to the heart and soul of the territory of the Virgin Islands. Faith, family, and focus. He's driven, fun, and loved and admired by all his peers. The mastermind behind Tropixs Cocktail Bar. He wears his brand and we know it very well. The man himself, Jabari Stoutt, a true 21st century distinguished gentleman, is sitting down today to talk all things business. We talk family, following one's passion despite the obstacles, the brand that is Tropixs Cocktail Bar, and so much more. It's a conversation you don't want to miss. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors. You're watching The Art of a Distinguished Gentleman. Let's go.
The win. Oh!
What are the hell?
I'm freaking out.
His time. 284 Music.
Coming to you live and direct from the beautiful British Virgin Islands.
What's poppin', what's really good, what's happening, what's up?
Davis has won it for the Lakers.
Viewers, welcome back. You're watching The Art of a Distinguished Gentleman. I'm Ron Grant, and you would not believe who finally came down to sit with us, the one and only Jabari Stoutt. Welcome to The Art of a Distinguished Gentleman.
Thanks for having me.
Such a pleasure. Cheers. We're not at Tropixs, but we're having
Cocktails.
tropic-like beverages. You are homegrown, son of the soil, someone who has come from a true heritage. As the old people would say, who you for? Tell us about that.
Well, everybody should know my dad, Willow Stout, well-known chef, known in BVI, and my mom, Juliet Brathwaite from Caribbean. Yeah, basically, been in this whole culinary and cooking and solving all my life.
Do you think it was almost inevitable that you went into this sort of industry?
Kinda. It was actually destined. It's like I just fall right in from small. It's like, as you say, I couldn't run from it.
Wonderful. Now, having had such a professional, a consummate professional as a father, a great example of a businessman, and not only a businessman, but someone who truly worked his way up. The story of your dad and working his way up to being a lead chef is one that's truly remarkable. Are there any lessons that you learned from him and just in observing how he did what he did?
Yeah. One thing, if you love something, and you just keep going at it.
Okay.
He started as a dishwasher, and he wanted to be a chef, and he started from nothing, and he just went all the way up, And as I tell anybody, if you like something and you find passion in it, there is going to be some challenges, but just don't give up. Just stick with it.
Speaking of passion, you opened the doors of Tropixs Cocktail Bar. How long now?
4 years.
4 years.
Yeah, 2016 I opened.
Tell us about that journey.
That's one to be told. Well, it was my dream child, my baby. I opened it in 2016. Tropixs has been so many things. It introduced me to, because I'm not really a whole out there person.
We know that, yeah.
You know, but it forced me to be that.
Okay.
And it also brought a lot of people together, young, old. It's just been so much. It's been so much.
You, when we see you in your element, and you talk about perhaps not being a social butterfly, as we call it. But when we see you in your element, it's totally different, though. As a host and as an entrepreneur, when you come to Tropixs, you feel like family. Tell us about the decision to really branch off and open the business, despite maybe person saying, that's not the avenue to go to, or perhaps them wanting you to go to another aspect, but you pushed and you did it. Tell us about that.
All right. Well, it's been. I say for anybody who opening a business, you would have known, and who's gonna open a business, it's not easy. It has been a lot of challenges. There has been so many challenges, but opening Tropixs been kind of like a dream come true.
Nice.
From being out on the pier park with my hat on, walking around with the CEOs and stuff, and saying, okay, I would like to have my spot here, and just watching the kiosk being built, the signing of it over to me, the planning, setting it up, opening it, and just being able to run and be out there every day. It's just been really amazing.
Wonderful.
It's been really amazing.
A lot of people may not admit, but from my position, my seat, we don't have golf courses in the BVI. What we do have are bars and churches. Equally so, about 250, a little over 250 bars, restaurants, and nightclubs. They all fall in that bracket. And the churches, maybe not so much. But bars, in the BVI, bars are the places that business deals are done. That's where the talks come about and the conversations. From my personal experience as well, that's where I get a lot of content. Pull a stool, and the people would tell me about what's going on in the territory. Yeah. Talk to us about how important nightlife is and the ability to be able to go to a nice bar and have a good cocktail. How important is that to Virgin Islands culture?
It's a good one, because even with what we're facing right now with this whole COVID-19 and everything, bars and social life for humans are, especially Virgin Islanders, it's all culture. It's been in us to go and have a drink, have a beer, talk, have a conversation, gossip, you may say, with your friends. Just being out of the house, just being outside, either on the side of the road, at the bars, by the seaside. It's just different atmospheres. I mean, bars in a whole means so much to like a lot of different people. And some may watch and say, oh, they're just drinking rum, they're doing that. But no, it's not just that. It's some place somebody can come out, had their walk, they have a lot on their mind. They just sit out there and random conversation about cars, boats. They have random conversation about their jobs. And it helps. It's like somewhat being like a therapist.
Yeah.
It's almost therapeutic. But yes, there is alcohol involved, and some people may abuse it, but
Yes.
I mean, it's still something that's needed in everyone's social life. Even if you, for instance, it's just a spot that you can go and just relax.
Wonderful. COVID has taught us a lot of things, and the bars happen to be, among other businesses, some of the last few to be able to open, just because of the protocols.
Yeah.
Talk to us about COVID-19 and how that might have affected your business, but also what it might have taught you about as a business owner.
All right. One, COVID-19. Everyone is a learning chapter for everybody. We all just out here just trying to do the best. COVID-19 affected bars and nightclubs mainly most for me, I'll say, because we congregate over. We are mainly social. We made up of being social, being in your face, being talking, laughing,
Dancing,
hugging, dopsing. That's the atmosphere of a bar, nightclub. And to have something to separate you in a way, it's like,
what's the point?
it's like, how is that gonna work?
Yeah.
Right now we were limited. The government limited us to about, I forget how many persons
50?
per square feet
Yeah.
and stuff. So they may say for social gatherings we have 75 year limit, but some bars don't have the square footage to hold the full 75. So when you customer holding 100 persons in your bar, they're telling you only hold 25 based on the 6 foot social distancing stuff. and anybody can imagine that has been hard. I mean, numbers for anything is what you really have to look at. And for a bar, if you have 20 people in there when you normally have 100, your sales is not going to be as it used to be. And that's been one main challenge with this COVID-19 and everything that's happened so far.
On a personal level, has it taught you anything? Have you had an opportunity to, really figure out certain things? What was, when we think of lockdown and curfew, what was that like for you?
Well, it was, man, lockdown and curfew. Jeez, I feel like I only operated my business for about approximately 3 months this year so far.
Yes.
Maybe in 11 months. It's been crazy. I'll say COVID-19, I don't know. It taught me one thing really, that everything today that you have can be changed in a split second by just one small little thing. And even when it comes to saving and stuff, my grandmother always say, make sure put on something for wet day. I mean, because being home, you're not working, the bills are still going. They may give you a little break, but if you don't have no income, you still have to pay these bills. You're home more, you have electricity, you have rent, you have all these other things, comforts of life, phone bill, all those stuff that even that really is still affected if you're out of a job for so long. So COVID showed me that, hey, everything may be happy one day, and just like that, it can all change.
Wonderful. What encouragement would you give to young business owners during this time who, like yourself, you mentioned about feeling as though you only operated for 3 months, and I know that feeling all too well. As hard as it has been on a business level, is there any encouragement that you would give to fellow business owners?
Yeah. Just never quit. I mean, the procedures and the protocols that the government implemented, they are fair in some instances, and laws are there to be amended. Don't sit quiet and just take any law that the government gave you. Challenge some of them. See how you can work with them. But I'll say respect them still.
Of course.
And if you're a business owner out there or you aspiring to be one, I'll say this is just part of being a business owner. Things come up, just hug it.
Put on your big boy
and
pants.
just clench your fists and just say, hey, we got to get through it.
Wonderful.
You just have to get through it.
Good pieces of advice. Not only are you a business owner, but you serve as a procurement officer. Am I correct? As a full-time job. Tell us about that. Tell us about your role in that.
Yeah, well, right now I'm at Skeleton Group of Companies, and yeah, well, it's fun there also, and it's like almost challenging too, because it's like, hey, we have the bar life, you have to do this, but then you still have this. So it's juggling is good. I stepped back into it after OMA in 2017. I left my current job, my job that I had, TMF. I was there in 2016. I opened the bar and then I left. But then after the storms and everything went down, I didn't have anything to do. I was like, man, I can't just be home relaxing, doing nothing.
Right.
So I went out, and Mr. Skeletons told me, well, hey, we have some stuff for you to do, and I've been there since.
Tell us about just a day in the life at that role, and has it taught you anything?
It has. Being over there, well, as you say, I'm over inventory and purchasing. It's similar to being a bar, as a bar, you're ordering stuff, you're taking stock, making sure you have all these different stuff. And I'll say it taught me a lot. Time management, it's so many different things.
Okay.
Just dealing with different suppliers and stuff is like a lot. Yeah, it's taught me a lot.
How have you been able to balance? You just spoke about juggling, and I think for all of us, it could be a difficult task. For some of us, we do it better than others. But for you, how have you been able to balance all that you do as an individual?
To be quite honest, I don't myself know.
Okay.
But I'll say, I just get up and say, hey, I have to do it. And we have to do it.
Mind over matter, kinda.
Yeah. The balance, to say, at one thing you say, okay, hey, but you also have to understanding boss also. My boss is like, he's good. So, for instance, if you have to be out for an hour, I'd be like, let them know and still. But I'll say, be more open with your boss.
You gotta communicate.
And just set yourself up and say, hey, I have to do these here today. Start early, get knocked out, make sure you've done all your work and stuff, and just do what you need to do.
A lot of persons in our society, the older generation, sometimes have a difficult time. They seem to have a difficult time giving persons of our age bracket a chance, an opportunity. They're not always willing to mentor and to, hey, sit, this is how you do it, da 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 da. Your father seems like he was, if not the mentor in your life, but also professionally, you speak very highly of Mr. Skelton, Ronnie Skelton.
Yeah.
Tell us about that mentorship on a professional level that you may have received.
I'll say for one, Mr. Skelton, he knows what he wants. He has a mind out of this world, and he's always willing to teach and educate and just help you to understand different things and things that actually he know. Like, for instance, he tell you about stocks. He'll tell you just random information that he has. So I'll say for him, he's one of those that's out there like, hey, he's not like the old that wouldn't move all the way and say, I'm gonna keep all the knowledge for myself. He just feel like everybody should know. He should know, or at least have a way to know. So for him, he's
Definitely one of those people.
yeah, he's definitely one of those people.
Awesome.
Yeah. My dad, he too shows he's a real hard teacher. I've never walked in the kitchen with him. I think
Is that on purpose?
I'll say I think that'll be on purpose because I've heard he's very stern
He's a
in the
stickler,
kitchen.
yeah.
But I think some may say I'm the same.
Okay.
But I'll say he knows if you know what you want and he's good at it, he'll guide you in the right way.
Awesome.
And he'll be stern and say, hey, I would like it like this, do it like this. This is how it's supposed to look. He will never send out a plate that don't look the way or taste the way that it's supposed to be.
Wonderful. Viewers, we are having a wonderful conversation with the man himself, Barry of Tropixs. We're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors. You're watching The Art of a Distinguished Gentleman. Brilliant Hands and Minds Tutoring Services. One-on-one tutorials in math and English, intense homework assistance, academic enrichment, school projects, effective communication and public speaking development, sign language for adults and children on Saturdays only. Registered with the Virgin Islands High School Certificate Program, Brilliant Hands and Minds can help you too. Offering intense curriculum-based training to help you or your loved ones get their high school diploma. It's time to make your family's education a #1 priority. Hurry, space is limited. Brilliant Hands and Minds Learning Center. We are the trained education professionals. Viewers, welcome back. You're watching The Art of a Distinguished Gentleman. We are here with the one and only Jabari, aka Barry Stoutt of Tropixs. Jabari, hindsight for me, of course, is 2020, and I know the year 2020 has seemingly had a negative tone to it from inception, from the beginning.
Man.
However, when you think of 2020 vision in hindsight, with all that you've been able to accomplish as a young man, anything that where do you see yourself? Like when we think of goal setting.
Well, for 2020, I mean, I'll say some may say it's been a crazy year, but I'll say 2020 did exactly what 2020 is. It actually put everything in perspective. It actually made everything come to your face. It made you face all your fears. It made you face all your worst things. It canceled your trips.
Yes.
It grounded you. It put you in your house. Man, 2020 they brought diseases up. 2020, wow, been a year.
Would it?
And
Would it be bad to say it's been an amazing year though?
You
And
run-
maybe
run-
that's just
run-
a maybe that's
you're
just a,
thinking like
a
you're going a
bias.
little, yeah, you're going a little too far. I would never ever say 2020 been an amazing year. I'll say for the books, 2020 was necessary, sadly. And I'll say it was necessary because yes, we all lost something, but we all learned a lot. We learned that hey, being out there regularly, you can contact something. Wash your hands regularly. That's for COVID. The natural disasters, earthquakes and stuff, and floods. Like these are things that can happen and are destined to happen. 2020 just showed us. They just brought it to our hindsight, our eyesight. So it's a year that we all needed, similar to Omar. I'll say the only sad part about it, Omar lasted for like this amount of time. 2020 is going for the whole time, and it's just every day something new, something different.
I really appreciate the wording in necessary. Right? You said 2020. You wouldn't say it was amazing like me, but you would say that it was necessary. And I think that is so important, Barry, that we understand that challenges and hardships and obstacles that would seemingly come and shut our businesses or cause us hardships are really, really necessary. I appreciate that comment and I thank you for that because as young men, we sometimes have difficulty understanding that challenges are essentially what help to mold us and make us. And for you to be able to say, listen, as hard as it's been, I felt like my business has only been open for 3 months in an entire year, but 2020 was still necessary. I appreciate that. That's cool. When we look at the present state of affairs in our territory, we look at crime, we look at persons being cast aside and making mistakes. What would you like the general public to understand about not only young men, but our young generation in general about their support when we may happen to fall or make a mistake?
All right. Yeah. Well, I'll say everybody, no one is perfect, and living out there in day-to-day life, especially as a young man, things may happen. It's easy to get in trouble. It's a lot harder to come out, but support is, you should, instead of just bashing and say, he's always doing that, or why did he do that, or so, just say, just be there. Are you okay? Do you need any guidance? Or just provide some sort of coaching instead of just bashing to an individual. Because I'll say if someone is already on a bad path, you bash, they're just going to develop a more offensive and be worse.
Okay.
A little bit of positive may turn that negative into a positive.
What do you do in interacting with young persons to encourage them? Because I know a lot of young persons look up to you and respect you. What do you say to them, those who may have fallen, who have made a mistake and feel as though, this is kind of the end for me? What would you say to those persons?
Don't give up. There's never the end until you close your last or you take your last breath. A mistake yesterday may linger in the books, but move forward and just try to find a different path. Just if you need a job, if you're find your career, just talk to somebody. Don't just go and be, just be a waste. I'll also say I never, like, for instance, there's a few people that's like Matthew and those guys who take drugs and stuff. They may come around the bar asking, begging for dollars and stuff. I never one day show any disrespect to the human beings. So, for instance, like Matthew will come now. Before he used to just come and harass the customers and stuff. But I spoke to him, I told him, hey, if you need anything, I have garbage here. Can you come by me and you just go and you take the trash out and I'll pay you. I'll give you a little something every time you do that. So instead of now he coming to harass the customers, he come and he just go, Barry, you have any garbage today? I said, yeah, man. He said, go, he take the garbage out for me, he come back. And I just gave him a little 2, 3, 4, 5 hours for just a little quick trip. Same with Yellow and stuff. She come, she don't have it today. I was like, Yellow, just don't beg anybody. So I just say you just have to be more be more understanding, be more a person rather than just houting or just bashing someone. Just be a friend. Be a friend.
And ultimately show humility. That's what I get from it.
Yeah.
Wonderful. I would be one to say that I thank you for your services. You know, my team and I enjoy coming and grabbing a stool at Tropixs. There's no doubt about that.
I think you guys learned really well, actually.
Oh, well, thank you very much, because I was mixed and mastered by myself. Continue the tremendous work that you're doing. Keep it up. We're proud of you. We continue to wish you the best of success in all that you do. And continue being great and being a distinguished gentleman, because that is exactly what you are, and we applaud you.
Well, thanks, man.
Most definitely. Viewers, that's all the time we have. You're watching The Art of a Distinguished Gentleman. Today's guest was the one and only Jabari Stoutt of Tropixs. A great conversation. Thank you so much for sticking with us.